This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Talking the stories that are shaping headlines, plus those that make you go,
Hello, good morning, and welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. We're here to keep you entertained, informed, and updated. And yes, we've been building up to this big discussion because the announcement that emerged yesterday, Rania, was about schools will have a little bit of a delayed start.
Yeah, schools are actually starting Sunday here in the UAE, and parents have been torn between sending their children back to school classrooms or simply maintaining the distance learning method. So regarding this issue, the Sharjah Private Education Authority has spoken out yesterday and made an important decision. Are they leaning towards blended or hybrid learning, or traditional, or just simply keeping it online? Well, parents whose children are enrolled in Sharjah schools, you need to listen up to this important conversation, as we will explain all the details regarding the new academic year and its layout plan.
Plus all the developments from around the world, particularly in North Korea. We've seen a rapid rise of Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yoo-young, rising through the ranks with pretty tough rhetoric in her public appearances. We'll talk about the latest step there. She seems to be taking some of the more important political roles in the country. Should give us an interesting glimpse at the hermit country, one of the more isolated places around the world where its politics are shrouded in secrecy. So stay tuned for that discussion and so much more.
Yep, so much more to look forward to. Melania Trump has also spoken out. In fact, she's been calling for racial harmony. She addressed the Republican convention this morning, so we will be delving into that as well later on in the program. But the big thing and the big story, of course, is the schools. Schools restarting. South Korea is one of the countries that actually closed its schools, but in Sharjah, we'll be hearing from the Sharjah Private Education Authority today on the show. So it is something that we're looking forward to. And shout out to all the parents and everyone out there. If you've got any questions for your teachers, any questions for your schools, or even the authorities, let us know on the text lines 4215, and we will put them forward to our guest this morning. We'll be right back after some musical entertainment, so stay tuned to Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis. Talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95. Good morning. Welcome back to the program. We've got a development from North Korea. South Korea's defense minister said that North Korea's leader's Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, is effectively running one of the most important political bodies in the country. And if this development is true, it cements her status as the country's second most powerful figure. More on the statement by South Korea's defense minister, Young Kyung-do. He said Kim Yo-young, the sister of Kim Jong-un, is likely now in charge of the Organization and Guidance Department of North Korea's ruling Workers' Party, the party body that deals with ideological indoctrination, party organization, and political appointment. And experts say this organization is responsible for monitoring the estimated 3 million members of the ruling political party to ensure that they are sufficiently loyal to Kim Jong-un and respect the teachings of North Korea's regime.
Yeah, I mean, this brings the big question saying, where is Kim Jong-un? Because there's a lot of rumors circulating that he might be very, very ill and might be potentially gone into a coma. No, that's not the case. He's been seen in public recently, and Kim Jong-un also held his third high-level political conference this week, and he also raised alarm about the nation's coronavirus response and a typhoon forecast to hit the country on Thursday, and he held this meeting yesterday. It was a meeting of the Politburo of the ruling Workers' Party.
Yeah, an interesting rise as far as her political career. It's risen steadily since her brother took power in 2011, which led to speculation that she could one day become the country's first female ruler. But while there is speculation on that front, experts say that North Korea's society is traditionally patriarchal, which would prevent her from advancing higher in the ranks. Regardless, they say she plays a heavy, strong role in North Korean politics, going from being her brother's proxy to his protocol assistant, to his eyes, ears, to even punisher. She's even had strong rhetoric last month to talk about demonstrators sending leaflets across the country saying, quote, "Rip apart the defectors, the traitors, and the human trash." Pretty strong rhetoric and a pretty tough stance she's taken that has been growing harsher and harsher.
Yeah, and also several experts believe Kim Yo-jong's rising profile has been part of a carefully choreographed publicity campaign by North Korean state media to signal that she's being groomed for something, but have been, let's say, loath to connect her rising role to any speculation about Kim Jong-un's demise. Now, there have been no signs that Kim's grip on power has eased. Representative Kim Byung-ki, who attended the NIS briefing last week, said he was told that Kim Jong-un is still the ultimate authority in North Korea and exercises, quote, absolute power. And when asked about Kim Jong-un's potential succession plans, well, he told South Korean lawmakers that it would be inappropriate for him to officially speak about that.
Yep, of course, and that's what's going to be happening. And Kim Jong-un has also been admitting the country's economy has not improved as he had hoped, because he's been talking, commenting on the internal and external situations, likely referring to the US-led sanctions over North Korea's nuclear program. And his major economic plans that he was discussing with China were severely impacted by the lockdown, and which reduced their trade with China, which remains their ally and economic lifeline. North Korea is yet to confirm a single case of COVID-19. However, Kim Jong-un, who held the meeting on Tuesday, has been quite vocal about making sure that the country is well prepared to take on the Typhoon Barbie, and also well prepared to take on any resurgence or any rise in coronavirus cases in North Korea. But we shall keep you posted. The big news is that he still remains the absolute power, even though his sister has now been promoted and given more positions to really give off the vibe that she is going to be the next supreme leader of the country. Well, stay tuned to the Morning Majlis. Up next, we shall talk about the Republican Party convention, because Melania Trump has just spoken out and shared her opinion. So we'll delve into that right after some musical entertainment.
This is What If?
What if?
Theoretical options to consider.
This is What If?
The big question we're asking you this morning is, what if Zoom didn't exist, or even video calling, any software that allowed you to do that? How would your life be like? The reason is because Zoom founder Eric Wan has apologized after hours-long outage hit users across the United States, UK, and several other countries. This affected thousands of school students, teachers, and business executives working from home. And we just talked about how the first 2 weeks of the term in Sharjah private schools is going to be distance learning. Imagine if we didn't have all of that. How would we be functioning?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, during the pandemic, or during the national disinfection program, where we were working from home and pretty much did everything from home and virtually, Zoom was the go-to app for video conferencing and keeping work and even family connections intact. It definitely helped with effectively getting your message across to the point where people started saying, why didn't we rely on this method earlier? Instead of just dragging us to meetings in the offices and having to go through waking up extra early, traffic hassles, dressing up, and so on. So it definitely opened up doors to the way companies are now portraying getting things done more efficiently, faster, and virtually, and not forgetting it saves a lot of money for all sides as well. So For it to not be there, I don't think we would have done things as efficiently as we did during the stay-at-home time.
Yeah, safety is pretty big here. What I find really interesting about the story is an outage probably isn't all that surprising considering just how rapidly Zoom had to scale up its services. I mean, hundreds of millions of people around the world use Zoom at the moment.
Yeah.
This is up from 10 million back in 2019. So other companies, usually they experience surges in popularity, but Zoom had to scale up its operations in this massive way, its capabilities, its security, and the fact that it had to do this within such a short time period made it vulnerable for exploits, vulnerable for outages such as this one as well. But yeah, I find it pretty fascinating how one day things were fine, then the coronavirus happened, and now Zoom is part of everybody's life.
Right.
And so deeply integrated into a number of establishments and institutions like schools, companies, and the governments as well.
To be honest, I didn't know Zoom existed before the pandemic.
A lot of us didn't, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of us didn't.
It was there, but not widely used. Because obviously we had lots of other popular apps, Skype, and then we also had the Bodum that many people use here in the country. Zoom claims to host about 300 million daily meetings, which is quite a lot if you think about it. But if we didn't have Zoom, what would you have chosen to communicate? Would you have been an email person, a WhatsApp person? Bodum, yeah.
That's how I communicate with my family abroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you prefer the video aspect. You have to have that video conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
I would have used Snapchat.
Snapchat. It's an interesting choice.
Simple.
If it's on Wi-Fi. If it's on 3G or 4G, no.
Why?
Oh my God, it consumes so much.
Does it?
Oh, it does.
Did not know that. That's one of the reasons why I get a text message saying you've consumed 90% of your data.
Snapchat, that's the reason. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to take that out from the phone then. Well, let us know on the text lines 4215 what application or what kind of service would you have preferred? Would you have done the Lionel Messi style of using fax machines to communicate with your peers?
Yeah.
Or would you have chosen Snapchat or Bodum to speak to people?
There's Slack too.
Slack? Oh.
You're not familiar with Slack?
No.
Slack is a popular tool for organizations here, particularly those in the advertising industry. A lot of them use Slack as well. It has integrated video conferencing. Google Hangouts is a pretty solid choice as well.
Yes, I've heard about Google Hangouts.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, never know. Whatever applications. I know Microsoft Team, or is it Steam, or what is it called? Microsoft Teams. I think it is. Steam is a gaming platform, so guys. But yes, we'll move on very, very quickly to the end of the show, and let us know on the text lines 4215. We'll carry on with these discussions tomorrow morning bright and early as we ring in the Thursday vibes here in the studios, and up next we've got lots of musical entertainment to keep you posted and informed, and up we'll have Future Talk at 2 p.m, followed by Afternoon Kodak, Yellow Home, and today's Wednesday, so we'll have the halftime show, the only place to be at 3. Stay tuned to Pulse 95. We'll be back again tomorrow morning.
Bright and early, stay tuned to Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. You're listening to Pulse 95. Pulse 95.
It's Pulse 95.